to create the kinds of policies, institutions and technologies that will incentivize the kinds of scalable win-win opportunities that will connect the dots. Thank you, and wishing you a very successful workshop.
Thank you, Deputy Director General Isabella Cosell. Now, we'll have a virtual connection from Canada representing the Institute for Global Health and Development of the Aga Khan University, the founding director, Dr. Julfikar Bhutta from Canada.
Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bhatta, colleagues from the National Academy of Medicine. I'm Julfikar Bhutta from the Institute for Global Health and Development at the Aga Khan University and the Center for Global Child Health here in Toronto. It gives me great pleasure to say a few words at the occasion of this notable meeting in South Asia. Initially, I would like to congratulate colleagues for establishing this hub on climate and its impact. And I wish I was there in person, but I know that many of our country delegates are there. And I wanted to say a few words to underscore the importance of the topic that you are discussing and will deliberate upon during the course of this particular workshop. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, climate change, and particularly the impacts of climate on South Asia, are existential threats to the lives of many. We also regard this very much as a threat multiplier, because many of the impacts of climate, conflict, population displacement, and insecurity are multiplied in the context of poverty, prevalent inequities, and they also have disproportionate gender impacts, particularly affecting women in low and middle-income countries and sometimes within subnational populations where they are disenfranchised and don't have the same ability to important to recognize that some of the impacts of climate that we are recognizing agriculture, nutrition, food security, and importantly on growth and developmental outcomes are things, and therefore an exposure to impact generations in a quasi-genetic manner. So the epigenetic impact is just beginning to be. Me and some of our colleagues, we've been looking at some of the prioritization in relation to gaps that we recognize, and gaps in terms of physiology and understanding of some of the impacts of climate. A stepping stone in terms of work in this area and importantly collaboration in this area. So I'd like to end by saying that I hope this workshop will open the doors for greater work between policymakers and implementers, and that we would have civil society engage in this, as we really need to address this through policies and programs that transcend national boundaries. So thank you very much for inviting me to say a few words. And as I indicated, even though I could not be with you this time, I hope that in subsequent follow-up activities from this particular climate hub, that we will have much more in the region, and I look forward to participating actively in the future. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Julfikar Bhutta. Now may I invite Ms. Claire Langley Hawthorne from the Climate Health Foundation.
Thank you, and I would like to add my thanks to the Right Honourable Prime Minister, other representatives of the government here, dignitaries, and support this workshop. You may not know a lot about us. We're actually based in Denver, Colorado, and our mission is really to support the training of healthcare in 2017, and we now have up to 5 fellows from the University of Colorado, Columbia University, Harvard helped organise this program, Dr. Caitlin Rudley, and I definitely want to thank the organisers for putting together such a wonderful program and health. We're honoured to have the first endowed chair in climate medicine at the University of Colorado in Denver. We've also just set up in 2022 a diploma program to train healthcare professionals who may be later on in their career to again inform them on this important issue of that nexus between climate change and health. I've been very privileged to be at a lot of the recent COP meetings where we've tried to bring together the healthcare community, and in Dubai it was wonderful to see the first Health Day announced. So I'm hoping that we will see further commitments made, and I think workshops like this help build that regional capacity and information sharing. And so I'm really honoured to be here. I hope to learn from you all, to absorb the information, get to understand the regional needs, and to get a sense of some of the pathways forward. So thank you again.
Thank you, Claire. Now, Dr. Victor J. Zhao, President of National Academy of Medicine, will join us virtually from the United States of America.
Good morning. I'm Victor Zhao, the President of the U.S. National Academy of Medicine, and I thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to help welcome all of you here today. This is such an important international collaborative event, and the National Academy of Medicine, or NAM, has been honored to be part of its conceptualization and planning. I'd like to start by acknowledging a few key individuals here today without whom this event would not have been possible. First, many thanks to key leaders who have had a hand in this workshop, including the Honorable Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, who provided today's welcome remarks. Second, to Bishnu Bhatta, Director of Partnership for Sustainable Development, for his leadership and vision in planning this event. Many thanks to hard-working members of the Planning Committee as well. And third, to many partners of the event, including the Partners for Sustainable Development, the Nepal Health Research Council, and South Asia Regional Academies through the Inter-Academy Partnership. Finally, to many friends old and new, including NAM members Hamburg and Sophie Butta, who are here today, and other partners who we're addressing this morning, including Dr. Pidip Gayamwali and Professor Dilip Suba. What a pleasure to welcome you and open today's sessions. You know, when NAM launched our Grand Challenge in Climate Change, Human Health Equity in 2020, we knew immediately that building local, regional, national, and international collaboration must be a key priority. We know that interest in understanding health impacts of climate change is increasing, but the current evidence base had not sufficiently explored the nexus between health, equity, and climate policy in many global communities. Additionally, there remain data collection, monitoring, surveillance, and research, which is frequently complicated by lack of strong research infrastructure. May lack the funding and capacity to create the necessary research and data networks on regions, combining their resources and capabilities offer a path forward, an attractive complement to the global ecosystem. And speed and create supplemental capacity for workforce infrastructure and resources, and to climate research. Communities must have greater control over the strategic decision making to enable them to developing using this research to inform local policy. Here in South Asia, we know that many infectious diseases and effects of air pollution, leading to negative health outcomes, including increasing rates of heat stroke. Certainly we've seen this evidence in Nepal, but also other countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India. Still, we lack comprehensive understanding of these health impacts. We also know that there are issues with fragmentation, significant scientific and technical workforce shortages, and a need for better integration of what you're doing is so important to develop regional research hubs. Create, build pooled resources, infrastructure, and knowledge, and sharing opportunities to identify their own key needs. It will also establish networks of researchers and innovators to facilitate collaboration, scientific capacity, leverage regional leadership, create shared policy data, and identify scale solutions and share lessons across the region. So with all that, I hope the discussion you'll have today and global experts refine the scope of work for research hubs and identify best methods. So impactful in closing the gaps we're all familiar with when it comes to climate, health, and equity. The National Medicine stands beside you and give you strong support as a willing. Dr. Kimber Bogart, who's been working with you on this, and she's not able to attend this meeting in person. Participate in today's meeting. And so we're all looking forward to continue these conversations. So thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Victor. Now, may I invite on Irrigation of Nepal, Mr. Sakti Bahadur Basnet, to deliver his opening remarks.
Honorable Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Health, guests, delegates, representatives from the media, ladies and gentlemen. As we stand on the South and Southeast Asia Regional Research and Innovation Hub for Climate Change, Health and Equity, I am deeply water resources and irrigation. These collective endeavors over the next 2 days are aimed at dots between climate change, health and equity, marking a significant stride towards a progressive, healthier climate. I am pleased to share that Nepal stands we are proud signatories of the COP28 UAE Declaration on Climate and Health. Climate resilient development and building thriving communities for the benefit of present and future generations. Development Goal SDG 7 of ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern recognize the interconnectedness of climate action, health and equity. By embracing we not only mitigate the impacts of climate change, but also enhance access to clean energy, a fundamental. Ladies and gentlemen, the climate crisis is not merely an environmental challenge. It is a profound existential actions. The time for gratification is over. We must act now for future generations. In Nepal, we have witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of climate change, monsoon patterns, to rising temperatures and increased extreme weather events. These impacts reverberate from biodiversity and water resources to food security and public health and societal order also. In this situation, our ministry recognizes the paramount importance of advancing action-oriented research, transformative innovation, knowledge, practices to mitigate the risks posed by climate change and build these into the international commitments and national policies. These ventures are crucial for safeguarding the most vulnerable communities within our region and beyond. Nepal, with its unique geographical diversity, from the majestic Himalayas to the verdant Tarai plains, faces the brunt of climate change. This has led to altered monsoon patterns, rising temperatures, and increase in extreme weather events, directly impacting our biodiversity, water resources, flood security, public health, and livelihoods. A hallmark of our strategy for the national economy centers on harnessing the potential of hydroelectricity and alternative energy sources. This approach not only contributes to our economic growth, but also emphasizes the intrinsic linkages between water, soil, and irrigation. As stewards of our nation's resources, environmental for posterity. Our ministry is fully committed to these novel policies, strategies, and actions focused on climate change. Interventions across renewable and non-renewable energy sectors, ensuring safe water for drinking, ladies and gentlemen, the establishment of this regional hub embodies our shared vision and determination historical global imbalance in climate and health research. By fostering radically collaborative, locally led initiatives, we aim to generate empirical evidence, develop collaborative networks, and advocate for policies that prioritize vulnerable communities. Collaborations, we can unlock sustained solutions and actions to combat the adverse effects of climate change on human health and the planet. Present and future generations, acknowledging that the vitality of our citizens and the population in the region is foundational to our let us remain focused on the importance of this scientific platform. We anticipate the well-being of our people and the planet in productive, sustainable, resilient, and equitable future for all. In Nepal. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And the Minister of Health and Population, Mr. Upendra Yadav, to deliver his
Right Honorable It's my great pleasure to be the part of this program. I congratulate the climate change, health, and equity. I wish this conference with the climate change and impact on health. Over the next 2 days, discussions we all are aware that Nepal is highly affected at national and international level to minimize the actively participating COPs to draw attentions. Considering importance of climate change, several measures, mainly adapting but also mitigation measures. Region developed national health adaptation carrying over various measures in building climate resilience capacity building of health, and strengthening of climate-sensitive diseases, surveillance system, and healthcare facilities. Some of the examples that we have been implementing. We strongly believe that our mitigation measures will contribute to some extent in achieving national and global targets. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to every participant, organizer, and our esteemed international partners for their invaluable contribution to this conference. Finally, thank you for all of you, your dedication, commitment, and to create healthier and safer environment for the future life. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. Now may I request the Right Honourable Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda, the chief guest of the event, for his special remarks.
Very good morning and namaste to everybody. Mr. Chair of this inaugural session, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Health and Population, Honorable Minister for Energy, Water Resource and Irrigation, international delegates, distinguished guests, conference, all participants, media person, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome to each esteemed guest and participants convened for the inaugural session of the South and Southeast Asia Regional Conference on connecting the dots between climate change, health and equity. At the outset, I extend my sincere appreciation to all the joint effort in organizing this event highlights the importance of partnership in tackling the complex challenge of climate change, health and equity. Our collective commitment to a addressing these pressing issues through a unified and comprehensive approach. Acknowledging the significance of this monument, the government of Nepal, it is a crucial step toward a future sustainability and fairness. Distinguished guests, posed by climate change are immense, touching every corner, impacting our society and the natural. Climate scientists must significantly reduce gas emissions to surpassing the critical 5 Celsius. This is vital for nations like mountainous landscape and imperative that develop economy extend their support with essential resources and technology. The promise of $100 billion in climate finance stands as a beacon of hope. Its fulfillment through the Green Climate Fund, among other mechanisms, is essential for adaptation and mitigation. The Loss and Damage Fund remains equally pivotal for the purpose. In this vein, I express our gratitude to Mr. Antonio Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General, for his visit and for emphasizing the urgent need for action in Nepal. Integrating health into our climate response is both necessity and essential. COP28 Declaration on Climate and Health, placing health at the forefront of the climate action, echoes our belief in the interconnectivity of climate change and health outcomes that significantly minimize health risk from climate enforcing our commitment to strengthening health system against environmental adversities. Recently, the government of Nepal, on the National Adaptation Plan and NDC implementation guideline, are not just plans, they are a testament to our resolve, outlining a clear and strategic pathway forward. They specifically climate change effects on human health and well-being, emphasizing our dedication to safeguarding our communities against the escalating impact of the environmental change. Nepal is fully committed to the Paris Agreement. We are committed to achieving net zero greenhouse gas emission by 2045. 5 years earlier than the global target. We are fully committed in harnessing our hydropower potential for clean energy and preserving our forest with plants are facing serious financial and technological gaps. Distinguished guests, the complexity of our region demands a holistic strategy that blends climate change, health. Communities are battling the effects of climate change manifested through increased disease and natural calamities. Challenges underscore the integral given the varied land within our become imperative. We are committed to research, innovation, and indigenous wisdom to improve resilience. I extend my assessment of the regional hub on climate change, health and equity. This endeavor signifies our collective resolve to drive meaningful change and foster a resilient, equitable and sustainable future. I extend